This is a lecture from Open Tuition. To benefit from the lecture, you should download the free lecture notes from opentuition.com.
To just go through and finish off this section on IFRS 16 leases, looking at things from the lessee's perspective, I'm just going to go through and cover some other minor issues. I don't like using that word issue, sounds like it's a big deal, but other issues, other areas, if you like, to keep an eye out for within any exam-based scenario. First one is looking at the payments, because what we've done already is in that previous example, we went through and looked at payments in advance, didn't we? Well, we need to go through there and have a look at what happens with payments in arrears. So how does that go through and impact our lease liability table? And we also need to go through as well and have a look at splitting that liability into current and non-current amounts. And that's it. Once we've done that, that's boxed off pretty much everything that we need for now on our leases within this chapter. So if we go through and look at the first one, the payments in arrears. For your payments in arrears, all that happens is it just changes the layout of your lease liability table. So we still start off there by looking at the year. So year one, should we just go to year two as well? We then still have your opening balance. We then have our carry forward then at the end as well, don't we? And it's that carry forward figure that goes on the statement of financial position, doesn't it? The key thing now is that we need to look at when the payments arise. Now the payments arise here, don't they? In arrears, which is at the end of the accounting period. So what we're going to have there is that our cash payment is going to be the last thing that happens before we then show our year-end liability. And therefore what we then need to do is we then need to accrue the interest for the full year on that opening balance. So the rate implicit within the lease, i.e. the rate given to you within the question, is what will appear to then be charged against that opening balance, where we then go through again, add the interest to the opening balance, deduct the cash, and that will then give you that carry forward figure. Okay, so it's important to note that when you're making your payments in arrears, the cash payment appears at the end of your lease liability table, and when you're going through and looking at it in advance, it appears right at the very start. Okay, there we go. Excellent. Any questions? Happy? Yeah, there'll be plenty of examples within your study text or the revision question and answer bank of your chosen tuition provider. I think you might find a question within the test as well, the online test that we pulled together. The second bit that we need to go and look at is the split of that liability into a current and non-current amount. So what you've got here is, if we go back to the example that we did in that previous lecture, we're looking to split that 18,617 reporting date liability. So what we need to go through and do there is we need to look at, of that liability, how much is going to be paid off next year. Okay. Well, what happens if we look at that liability? The first thing that happens is that we pay 5,000, and that 5,000 is going to pay off entirely 5,000 of that 18,617. So here, what's going to happen is that the current is 5,000, isn't it? Because it's paying off effectively. It's paying off this interest that has already been accrued, hasn't it? Okay, so we'll pay off the 8887. Did I put in too many 8s then? 887. And then it will then pay off the remaining capital balance. Okay, What that then leaves us with is that the non-current amount, if you like, is, what was it, 18,617. Less the 5,000, which gives me 13,617. So the current amount is 5,000. The non-current amount is 13,617. Okay. I think the key bit that you've got to go through and do there is, within any question, the easiest way to look at it without thinking about the cash paying off the interest and whether that's been accrued or not. It gets way too complicated. Wait until you get to it looking at payments in arrears. But what you do is, to find out the split, you look at the final payment of the next year. The number immediately to the right there is that non-current liability of 13,617, which corresponds to the 13,617 there. The difference between the total and that non-current then gives you, is it there, the current liability. So the trick is to look at the final payment of the next year. The number immediately to the right is the non-current liability, and it would apply in exactly the same fashion when you're looking at your payments in arrears. Same rules. So we look at the final payment of next year. The number immediately to the right is the non-current liability, and then the difference between the total liability at the reporting date and the non-current liability is then the current liability amount. Voila. No need to think about it. So that's it for now. Have a go at as many questions as you can. There are going to be questions on leases. As a topic, it tends to be an area that students quite like to see within an exam, because there's lots of computation within it, and the computation isn't ridiculously complex. That's all for now. I'll see you all later in the next chapter, hopefully when you've taken a nice, long, relaxing break. Goodbye for now.